All right, let's try this again. You guys don't realize it's my second take. All right, this is about converting area. Now, let's get an understanding first on area. Area of a box, that's 4 feet by 3 feet. Well, if I was to divide this off by 3, and this by 4, giving each box 1 by 1, because you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, remember 4 feet, 1, 2, 3. The area covers what's the entirety.
Hey, beautiful, you've got a text message.
Turn the volume off too. So it would make 4 by 3, which is 12 feet squared. The formula of a rectangle is length times width. Now, if I was talking about a triangle, it's almost the same formula, except it's 1/2 length times width, or what most people hear called base times height, because this is considered the base of a triangle, and this is the height. When we're talking boxes, we're talking length and width. But it really is the same formula, but as you can see, how did I get it? I just cut it in half by a diagonal line. So when we're converting, before we convert linear, now let's convert area. So we have different conversions, because when it was linear, 1 yard, that's a linear yard, equals 0.9 meters. But if I square it, well, what's 0.9 squared? That's 0.81. But we cut it off after 1 decimal. All right. So let's look at converting an area. Again, the book has tables for the conversions. So if I'm talking centimeters and I want to know how many inches, so I'm going to go centimeter squared area to inches squared. That conversion is 6.5 centimeters squared equals 1 inch squared. We'll have centimeters on the top, centimeters squared come to the bottom, forcing the inches squared to the top, then backfill with the numbers. Centimeter squared change. And we end up with 1.23 inches squared. Same thing, just different conversions. Same method. Well, let's go backwards. What if I have 8 inches squared? Well, if inches are on the bottom, inches squared go to the top goes to the bottom, forcing this centimeter squared to the top. Again, you're watching me I'm letting the labels really do the work. Check your labels, do the cancel. Yep. And we get 52 centimeters squared. Well, let's add another dimension to it. Let's talk volume. Volume is when we cube it. So the volume of that rectangle is length times width times how high is the box. It's cubes. Remember, I also said that liquid measurements is really a volume problem. So, we're talking more about liquids, but not always. Because gallons, I'm thinking pirate here, is actually a volume. And yes, there is a conversion between volumes and liters cubed. 1 cubic yard I put liters. 1 cubic yard is approximately 200 gallons. Concrete, even though it's poured, is done in cubic yards. But it's a liquid, kind of. It's a slush. We don't order it by gallons, but it's a liquidy mess when it comes. So we get 800 cubic yards. How about cubic feet to gallons? Well, what do I know about cubic feet? 1 cubic foot is approximately 7.48 gallons. So, same format, start out, put it over 1. If cubic feet are on top, goes to the bottom, use the gallons to the top. 1 cubic foot equals 7.48 gallons. Check your labels. You've got the gallons left, and 3 times 7.48 . Okay. Now, one more thing. I didn't do a whole lot of because it's mainly more about knowing those different dimensions. What I want to talk about next is called population density. Basically, this is how many people fit in a land area. Because you see a lot about things about population density. So, there is a chart in your book. If we have 30,000 people per 28 meters squared, or miles squared, sorry, I can't even read my own writing. That's typically, they want to know how many people per square mile. All you gotta do is divide. And we don't do decimals. Because can you have 1/10 of a person? No. They call that murder. Now, what if I wanted to convert that? How many I want to know if it's per kilometer square mile? Kilometer squared. The people stay on top. I'm not converting people. One mile squared is about 2.8 or 2.6, sorry, kilometers squared. So now we get 30,000. Remember what I said on the last video? Each step across the top is a multiplication. Each across the bottom is division. When you key this, it goes 30,000 divided by 28 divided by 2.6. Or 412 people per square mile or square kilometer. right? But there's a chart for your homework that they have you to look at. And this is some basics, but it's more I want to make sure you understood. When they talk about population density, they're talking about how many people per square mile or square kilometer. So a lot of times you take that and you make a division. All right? Good luck.